Welcome to the MFRL round 5, I believe, of the Dutch Grand Prix. You can see Debs leaving the pitch here. Surprising turn of events, it's wet on Inters currently. Could be an interesting qualifying today. Many drivers could spin and end up either taking themselves out or ruining laps because of it. We also have SpaceX leaving the pits and doing his outlap. And now here comes the rest of the grid, leaving the pits now. Debs could end up encountering some traffic if he doesn't slow down a bit. But from the looks of it, he should be fine. And as Debs comes down the pit lane straight, he begins his lap. And let's see what he can give us. As we have a spin, looked like a Ferrari of maybe Finot, or could be just him slowing down. And we do have a spin of an Alpha Tauri of Neil. He could have damage, or could have just been a bit too much throttle. Debs sets the fastest lap of the race. My apologies, of qualifying. What can SpaceX give us? 2 seconds off. PRIX starting his hot lap. Let's see what we can get from Raforis as he comes down the straight and puts it in P2. We have another spin from an Alpha Tauri, which looks like to be Mystic, and Neil. Jamie puts it in P2, and Lesu takes it away from him right after. We have another spin, and it's Mark. And we also have an Alpine that spun on the last corner coming down the last straight. Debs' teammate doing what looks like to be another hot lap. And Mark has lost the car. And Jamie has got a 5 grid penalty. What has happened? As PRIX's teammates puts it in 7th, Jamie has got a 5 grid place penalty for a collision with Mark. Interesting turn of events. Could be a mistake made by the game. It tends to do this a lot. As he loses the car. Currently facing the wrong way. Trying to get it back, facing the right way. Into the pits he goes. Runs up, puts it P8. Pretty good lap from him. As PRIX's teammate comes round again and puts it P2. And then Lesu takes P1 away from Debs by 4/10. What a lap. We have Sam crossing the line, doesn't improve. Here comes Chris right behind. Very close to almost hitting the Red Bull right behind in the pit lane. Looked like he was going for another one, but he hasn't. Rodskins has retired as well. We have Lesu, who looks like he's about to do another hot lap. Seeing if he can improve the gap. As the Alfa Romeo comes side by side outside the pit, giving him the room he deserves and letting him pass. Let's see what he can do. So far, 2 drivers are yet to do a lap. Neil and Triffa are yet to do a lap. Lesu coming through the last corner, full throttle. Let's see what time he gets, almost losing the rear. And increases the gap once again. What a lap. As we Mystic crossing the line. Gets a P7. Now Neil finally putting a time in. Let's see what he gives us. Very slow on the exit there. And doesn't improve. Stays P19. We have the McLaren of Bertu crossing the line and stays there. The Alfa Romeo of Raforis going P6. Scobet crossing the line, starting his hot lap. Leslie, from the looks of it, on another hot lap, looking to improve that gap once again. As from the looks of it, a Red Bull has spun. Granza is out of the session. 3 drivers out of Q1 without even... I don't know. My apologies. 3 drivers out of Q1 before the session has ended. There's Leslie coming down the last corner once again, pushing that car to its limits. The track looking to have improved a lot. The rain has stopped and he goes faster once again. As we see Mystic crossing the line as well, putting it in P6. Teammate Neil coming down the last corner, almost running into the wall. Has he improved? Just enough to make it out of Q1. Will he have time to pit and go on again? From the looks of it, it should. We have Triffa crossing the line, putting in a P9 right next to his teammate Runza. Scobet as well going over the line, putting in a P4. Deb starting his hot lap. And Leslie starting his. Losing the rear again almost. From the look like Mystic has run out of fuel just in time to make it into the pits. The 2 McLarens, my apologies, Mercedes going over the line to start their hot lap. Raforis crossing the line and not improving. As Debs takes the fastest lap away from Leslie by 5 tenths. 5 tenths, what a lap. As Runza the only one on the softs from the looks of it. It doesn't seem like it's been the right decision for now. Is it too early for soft, or is it just the right amount of time? From the looks of it, it's a bit too early and still interweathers for now. Jamie has retired. From the looks of it, he crashed right before the pit. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of the car before the game gets rid of it. Just saw him there for a second from the looks of it. Lost the rear, ended up in the wall. Very unlucky. If no one's able to outpass him, he will be going to Q2. Mystic also retiring as Scobet starts his last hot lap. So do the Astons. And we have another Haas that has spun. Let's see how Runza is doing with those softs. Those tires look very cold. It was a risk he took, and if he's unlucky, it could cost him Q2. Pair 2 crossing the line, can he improve? Puts it in P60, just out of Q2. Scobet coming through the final corner. Andrew retired, crosses the line, Scobet, and gets P2. The Aston of Blaze puts it second. PRIX goes into the pits, not being able to finish from the looks of it. Might have made a mistake. Can Neil put this car into Q2? And he loses it and breaks his front wing. And almost hits the car of Jack. Very close. Very close indeed. As we can see, Debs, the fastest driver, but Blaze in the Aston, very close behind, very close. Now we're off to Q2. Rafor is the first to come out to do his outlap. We also have Finot on the only cars to pick softs. Will he go out on those softs? We'll see. Mystic also coming out. And from the looks of it, Debs making his way. As Raforest starts to make his way to the final corner. Going down the main straight. About to start his hot lap. Following him is his teammate, Jack. And Finot does go out on those softs. The question is the track dry enough and ready for softs? And Jack has retired. Let's see what has happened. What happened here? From the, yep, spun his car, hit the wall. And now he's just in the middle of the track. Very unlucky. Didn't even have the chance to put a time, so he is out of Q2. Rafor is coming down the main straight. What time will he set for the other drivers? And this is a 1:17 dead. Very fast for those inters. Mystic puts it second. As Finot starts his hot lap. Dev's making his way into the pits. Looks like the track is dry enough for those softs, and Finot might have a chance to take it away from Raforest. The softs are definitely the better tire. Everyone coming into the pits. Andrew puts it on the podium. On third, Runza following him. Rafor is pitting. And Lesu staying out. Mystic seems to think that it is not ready for softs yet, and Finot has beaten the fastest lap by almost a second. DRS has been enabled. Everyone on Inter should, and probably is the smartest thing to do, and pit and get a fresh set of softs. Lesu putting it first once again. Track is drying out, and it is drying out fast. SpaceX putting it P3 in those inters. Probably should have pitted beforehand. PRIX starting his hot lap. Skubet starting his first. Rafor is coming in on the first set of softs, starting his hot lap. Can Debs beat it? And he does by a full 2 seconds. Track conditions is getting better and better. Triggs beating it with a 1:11.9. Here comes Runza to start his hot lap on those softs. Trix's teammate puts it in P3. Mystic starting his hot lap. Gave a really good toe to Rough Horse from the looks of it. Puts it P4. Triffa coming down the last corner. Looking to put it into Q3. And places the car in P6. Tricks into the pits. And restarting his hot lap. Runza putting it next to his teammate in P7. Let's see what Sam can do with these softs. Used all his deploy and puts it at P7, splitting those two Haas's. Will Devs beat Trix? And he does with a 1:11.3. 5/10 faster. The track just keeps getting better and better each lap the driver goes. From the looks of it, Debs has underfueled by a good bit. And it's gonna be very slow coming back to the pits. Coming to the back of Debs. Debs moves over. Sadly, Andrew does not have enough battery for another lot lap, so he will be pitting. Scobet starting his hot lap. As does SpaceX. Scobet really seems to be pushing that car to its limits as he gets a fastest sector too. Really edging track limits. As he comes down the last corner into the main straight. Will he improve? And gets P1 by 200ths of a second. Making his way and doesn't improve. Lesu takes P1 away by 3/10 with a 1:10.9. What a lap. His teammate Finot making his way down the last corner. Puts it in P7. The two Astons coming down. Blaze doesn't improve going into the pits. PRIX starting his hot lap. My apologies, Rafor is in the pits, not Blaze. Can PRIX take P1 away from Lesu? Currently the Aston has just exchanged the fastest sector 1. What happened with SpaceX? Looked like he spun just before the pit. Let's see from the view of Finot as he makes his way down the last corner, and he has spun it before the pit lane. As plays P2 and PRIX sets the new fastest lap of a 1:10.6. What a lap. These will only get faster and faster. Andrew coming down the main straight, crosses the line and puts a P9. Sadly, 3 drivers will not be making it to Q3. Run just slowly making his way around the track. Could have suffered some damage. That is the end of Q2. Finot, SpaceX and Jack will be out. And in just a few moments we'll go on to Q3. Back to Q3, waiting for the drivers to come out, and from the looks like 2 drivers already heading out. We can see Mystic, then we have the Williams of Debs right behind. Now Debs is a faster driver than Mystic. Will he have to move over before the hot lap starts, or is Debs gonna open up a gap in the out lap? Mystic going round the final corner, down the main straight, starting his hot lap. Debs right behind him. Luckily he has opened the gap. So far, Andrew is yet to leave the pits as Blaze starts his hot lap. And Mystic sets the first flying lap. Deb's right behind him, who takes it away with a 1:10.5. Rafar is right behind him. Then it's PRIX. Can Les you take it away? Don't put it P3. Here comes Scoobet. P2 and 3 very close to each other for now. As Debs loses the car on the cooldown lap, almost reverses into the middle of the track and into that Red Bull as he goes into PRIX. What an accident! Debs will be getting a 5th place grid penalty for colliding into PRIX. What an unsafe rejoin. What a mistake from Debs. What a crash. Absolutely unsafe rejoin. Must be devastating for PRIX. Was very close to P1. Let's hope his race goes better than this. There's Andrew in the Red Bull coming up to the final sector. Let's see what he can do. Coming down the last corner, full throttle into the main straight, and doesn't improve. Mystic starting his hot lap. Coming up to a traffic from the looks of it as Triffa and Scoobet let him pass. Almost having a little collision there. The Ferrari of Liz, you're also about to start his flying lap. Mystic coming down to the last sector. Going through the last corner, down the main straight. Can he improve? Crosses the line and puts it in P6. Skubet starting his hot lap with Triffa behind him. Runza letting Rafor let you pass. Let's see what he can do. Will he take P1 away from Debs? And will he knock PRIX down to P4? And he does. He takes the fastest lap with a 1:10.3. Amazing. As Runza starts his flying lap. Trevor, from the looks of it, has abandoned his. Skubet setting a fastest sector 2. Coming down to the last corner now. Very tight down the main straight. DRS wide open. And puts it at P5. Trevor starting his second hot lap now. As Runza puts it in a P8, passing his teammate by a few, by 1,000, no, 100th of a second from the looks of it. As PRIX's teammate comes out of the pits, so does Mystic. Looking to improve on that P7 and surpass Raforis. And maybe even take Skubet as well. As Skubet is going very slowly to let Triffa past. Coming down the last corner now. And he's abandoned the lap. Skubet starting his flying lap. Rafor is heating up the tires. What has happened to Mystic? Looks going very slowly there. Let's see what he can do coming down the last corner. Down turn 1, very clean. Really good exit. Goes a little bit slower in sector 1, but still has time to improve. Rafor is coming down the main straight. Can he improve? He does not. Neither does Blaze. Mystic coming down the last 2 corners now. Full throttle. DRS wide open. What can he give us? Does not improve. Andrew now is next to cross the finish line. And it is P10 for him. Debs putting in a P1. by 2/100ths of a second. Very close. Very close. And Lesu takes it back from the looks of it. Lesu takes P1. Lesu takes P1 with 1/10 and 5/100ths of a second. Debs will be getting a 5-place grid penalty, which is not good for him at all. We'll see you soon when the race starts. And lights out, and away we go. From the looks of it, the lobby will be restarted. Something has not gone well. The carnage. We will be back shortly.
always be stylish.
Just a few more seconds and away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And lights out and away we go. Amazing start from everybody. Les you holding on to the lead. So far so good. A lot of shuffling around from the drivers. Now Zandvoort here is a really drainable track. It really sucks fuel. Underfueling here is a really big risk. The degradation here is also very high and tires can overheat very fast. So you have got to know when the limit is and not send the tires too much too soon. Piggy making a move on Triva. Side by side. Down the outside Triva goes. Can he take the position back? Very close. Piggy holds on to the position. As Jack and Finot had a little fight. As Jack overtakes Finot. That you still leading for now with a comfortable lead. As Mark spins and drops down to P19. Mark right behind the end of Neil, side by side. Very close there, but a very well overtake. Leslie increasing the gap slowly. As Mystic loses his car and is stuck in the pit lane and drops down to P20. Such unlucky, really unlucky. He had great pace. Jack catching up to Trifa really quickly. Will he be able to pull off the move before DRS enables or after? The wing really close to that rear wing of Trifa. Needs to be careful not to outbrake himself. As Leju sets another fastest lap of the race. As Piggy fighting with Andrew and puts it in P8. Term comes up to P16. Deb's about to start fighting LaForest for P4. Very close. But so far, Raforest is holding his position strong. As Term comes up to P15, passing Lewis and chasing down SpaceX. Debs out of ERS, almost making contact with Raforest. And Debs make contact. They make contact and Debs spins. Almost hitting his rear wing and almost running into Piggy. Another unsafe rejoin from the looks of it. Almost taking up Piggy and Runza at the same time. Lesu running away with the lead for now. As Neil spins the car. What a shame. Scoopet hunting down Raforest. Going down the outside into turn 1. Squeezing Ruff. And almost losing the car. Raforest stays in the lead for now. Very close from Scoopet. Could have been a safety car right then and there. Was able to keep it on track, luckily. Triffa almost losing the car. Jack right behind him, looking to make an overtake, and he does. That Mercedes getting in the way of Jamie. Went from P6 to P12. All that hard work gone. Could have been touched or too early on the gas. We are going 3 wide into turn 1. Very close. Triffa getting up to P10. As Runza loses the car. Doesn't look like I've suffered any damage. As Roskins and Mystic are fighting for P17. But inching closer to Raforest. Piggy and Jack fighting for a last points position. Jack closes the door on Piggy. Can Piggy do anything to overtake? From the looks of it, Jack is trying to overtake Triffa. As Jack almost loses the car, ended up putting too much curb. as Piggy flies by because of that mistake. And Jack almost runs right into the back of Piggy. Very close. And Finot loses the car. And loses his front wing. Looks like... Will it be a safety car or is it a VSC? From the looks of it, is a virtual safety car. The race will be neutralized for now. Lazy still leading with a 2-3 second lead now. As Finot goes to P18 and will go down to P19 and probably last place because of that front wing. Can Lewis and Jack gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Very unlucky. Trevor gaining on Glanza, looking to make a move. As Trevor goes wide and loses the positions. Jack into the pit to serve that penalty now. And gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Very unlucky. Leslie still leading in front with a 2-second gap. Before slowly catching up to Scoubet. Piggy getting close to that Red Bull. Going round the outside. Has the inside line and overtakes Glanza. What a beautiful move. Can Glanza take Piggy back? Can he get that position back down the main straight with DRS? It's gonna be close. Piggy takes the inside. Glanza from the looks of it is too far back. And SpaceX comes down from the inside, trying to take up that position away from Glanza. They almost touch and he takes the position away from Glanza. Amazing. Triffa is up next, trying to take away that last points finish. Can he pull it off? Amazing racing so far. And further up, we see a lot of cars just go. Scoubet spun by the Aston from the looks of it, hitting Debs. Don't even know what happened there. 3 cars made contact. Scoubet losing the car once again. What has happened? 3 cars going into one corner and Scoubet gets disqualified. Scoubet gets disqualified for going the wrong way. Very unlucky. Very unlucky. Probably was trying to get off the track, off the racing line, and the game just disqualified him. Really unlucky for him. Jack losing the car into a wall, losing his wing, Could be a VSC, could be a safety car. It is a VSC. As Letyu goes into the pits, PRIX follows him. Will Raforest follow? No, he does not. Yes, he does. He pits last second. Blaze keeps going, taking the lead of the race. Letyu becoming an Aston Martin sandwich from the looks of it. Now, a lot of people have pitted, but a lot of people have decided to stay out. Now, strategies have been ruined, strategies have been made. May the best strategist win at this point. Jack serving that 5-second penalty. Piggy letting Ronskins through. And Ronskins letting him through. PRIX getting a drive-through penalty for driving, for going too fast under the VSC. It has ended. Blaze taking the lead of the race, 2 seconds ahead. PRIX just about in DRS range of Letyu. And PRIX goes into the pits to serve it immediately. Triffa overtaking Glanza. Very clean move, very close to his front wing, but he made it work. Glanza about to be being pressured by Raforest, and Debs pressuring Raforest. Mistakes are can easily happen here. There is no brakes in a track like this. Debs getting really close to that Alfa Romeo. Glanza goes wide. Side by side goes Debs and Raforest. Who will brake later? Raforest down the inside. Closing the gap. Closing the door to Debs. Can he hold him off down the straight? Using that battery. DRS wide open. Very close to Glanza. Side by side they go. Down, round the outside. Overtakes Glanza. Will he keep the position? Yes, he shall. Debs now stuck behind the Red Bull. Debs going round the outside. Can he overtake the Red Bull there? Very close. Looks like they made contact. Debs now P7 chasing after Debs. Amazing racing. Letyu catching up to Blaze, looking to take back that P1 position. Will he be able to pull it off in the straight? Or does Blaze have too much straight line speed? Let's see. Letyu has a lot of battery saved up. Dumping it all. DRS wide open. Catching up really quickly, side by side. Blaze taking the inside line. Brakes really early. Letyu braking really late, going round the outside and made the move stick. Amazing. SpaceX and Isaac's fight. Andrew fighting. But SpaceX has taken the position. Triffa going to Andrew, trying to pressure him, maybe force a mistake or just overtake him the normal way. Debs right behind Raforis. Triffa has overtaken Andrew, so has Raforis, and so has Debs. Must have made a mistake. PRIX going, no. Debs almost going side by side. Someone has spun. That would be Lewis, who spun no damage from the looks of it. Debs still stuck behind Raforis. Blaze into the pits. We're going down the straight. Debs dumping his battery, trying to overtake Raforis. 3 wide into turn 1. Debs and Raforis have overtaken Triffa. Raforis still in front of Debs. Slowly catching up to SpaceX and Leslie in the lead. Someone. Never mind. Looked like there was a safety car, but just looks like the game being the game like always. Lewis has retired. Probably due to damage to the car. PRIX and Debs and Raforis coming down the main straight. Debs going round the inside as that car of Lewis comes back onto the track. Debs really putting the pressure on Raforis. Almost losing the rear of the car. Raforis coming behind the car of SpaceX. Will he be able to make the move and place a car between him and Debs and secure a podium finish? Coming down to the last corner. Going down the main straight. Who will overtake who? And who will maintain their position? Raforis flying down the straight, going round the outside of SpaceX. SpaceX braking late, trying to cover him off. Going side by side. Very close, almost makes contact. Raforis flying down into the inside. They do make contact. They keep the cars on the track. SpaceX losing the car a bit. Debs overtaking him as well. Raforis P2 and Debs P3 both overtaking the Mercedes. Now PRIX is gonna try to get past SpaceX and past those 3 cars in front of him to try to get that race win. PRIX being squeezed a bit. Going down the inside from the looks of it. Almost making contact. Very close. Coming down to the second last corner now. Very close. Almost hitting the wall. Very clear. Very good straight line speed. Gives him just enough room and blazes fine. Triffa getting a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Very unlucky. Before still holding on to Debs, trying to get that P2. Bertu catching up to Andrew, making his way closer and closer to a points finish, hopefully, and get some well needed points at McLaren. PRIX catching up to Raforis. As Debs is in P2, when did this happen? Raforis, from the looks of it, is starting to lose grip on those tires as he's losing time to Debs. And PRIX is catching up. Trevor getting past Bertu for P12. Sam running out of battery here, right behind the car of Glanza. Will he have enough pace and enough straight line speed to get past here? No, he won't. Maybe down the main straight as he goes round the outside of Glanza. Almost. Glanza cutting him off. Closing that door. Going round the last corner. Down the main straight. Will Sam be able to finalize this move and take P6? No, he won't. Glanza dumping his battery from the looks of it. And holding on to that P6. PRIX has made it past Raforis for that P3. Raforis still close enough to hopefully get it back, but he is losing time. Triffa might start to get pressured by Andrew if he can catch up, as Mystic is once again behind the car of Glanza, down the DRS, as Glanza stays in front. SpaceX with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Mystic not really gaining any much time, but does get P6 for overtaking SpaceX that has pitted. Blaze coming up to the rear of that Mercedes of SpaceX, looking to overtake. Even though SpaceX is on newer tires, those hard to be in a way better condition. Going round the inside, almost making contact, and takes the DRS and overtakes SpaceX. Very close indeed. Will SpaceX be able to come back in that straight with DRS, with the grippier tires of the mediums, and overtake Blaze? As SpaceX is dumping that battery, opening the DRS, slowly catching up, and it is not enough to make the move. But SpaceX is catching up slowly, almost making contact. Very close indeed. Does end up losing time because of that. SpaceX with the DRS. Still losing time. But hopefully should be close enough for the main straight to maybe, just maybe, send the move down the inside in turn 1 and take back that PE7 position. Dumping his battery. DRS wide open. Round the outside. And he does make the move on Blaze and take back P7. Very good racing. Very good racing indeed. As Leslie, from the looks of it, reaching back markers. But they do pit immediately, so will not have affected him at all. As Mystic is catching up to the car of Andrew in the Red Bull. Almost giving him a slight tap in the rear. Mystic is on the faster soft tires and takes the DRS. They do make contact, but luckily no one has spun, no one has taken damage. Mystic down the inside, taking the outside line, and has taken the position away from Andrew. Now can Andrew come back into straight with DRS and make a move down the inside into turn 1 or the outside? As one of the McLarens of Bertu has spun, letting the drivers pass, and he is back off in P17. And Mystic has spun and lost a piece of his wing. What has happened? Jack has retired from the race. Let's see what has happened here. From the looks of it, has spun, is in the middle of the track. Safety car will come out. Leslie might have. And Ref Warriors gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car. So many penalties being dished out. Some of them might be very unlucky. Some of them are very, very worth. Some are very, very justified. Some are very unlucky. Leslie does have enough of an interval to pit and still stay ahead. Will he try to go for the soft tires? And SpaceX get another 5-second penalty for speeding under the safety in the pit lane. You think he would have learned the first time? A lot of people pitting, a lot of people suffering around in position. Runskin's getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Most probably track limits. As Leju comes into the pits, onto the soft tires. Now, the people that have under-fueled have been needing this and should benefit them a lot. And the people who have thought about Zandvoort and how much fuel it does take away from your car might have overfueled too much, and now the safety car has just added more fuel than they just need. As there's you catching up to the safety car. And from the looks of it, Mystic, no, not Mystic, Enderneil is stuck behind the car of Lesu. And a very, very unfortunate turn of events for the Alpha Tauri here. He's gonna have to go to the side when the safety car restart starts, and will end up getting lapped again. As 3 more cars now making their way to the safety car queue. Now we should start to go racing on lap 31, if I'm not mistaken. So we will have 5 laps to decide the winner of this race. So far 3 people have penalties here. Let's see what they have. Rafor is still with that drive-through penalty. SpaceX 5 seconds and Ronskins 3 seconds. Rafor is gonna have to probably serve that drive-through penalty right after the safety car comes into the pits. As PRIX, from the looks of it, spins his car and goes down to P3. A lot of people on the soft compound tire. A lot of people, 2 people, 3 people, on the hard tires. Glanza with 28 lap old tires, and they are hard. Those tires must be crying for help by now. Grip in those tires must be very hard to control, and could be very dangerous in the restart with those cold temperatures. Blaze with 12 lap old hards, and Term with 11 lap old hards as well. Rafor is the only driver to be on mediums. So far, Mark has gained the most positions with 11, and then Glanza right behind him in 10. Safety car might probably be in this lap, so we will have 6 laps to decide the winner of this Grand Prix. Safety car indeed is in this lap. Everyone going side to side, warming up their tires, keeping their distance from the tires. Lesu is controlling the pace. Let's see how good of a launch he will be able to get. Neil is still stuck behind that Ferrari and will have to go to the right or left side and let everyone through. And away we go, Lesu with an amazing start. Neil going to the side, letting everyone pass. Debs and Trix already fighting into turn 1, and they touch! Trix almost losing the car as Debs and Trix do make contact. Reforest is right behind him now. Runza going past Term. Neil still having to let people through. Mystic making up a position past Ronskins and Finot. Drifter, from the looks of it, has spun, gone into the wall, and lost his front wing. His race might be over for him. Lesu setting the fastest lap. Jamie getting very close to Glanza. Glanza squeezing him. Going around the outside. Jamie goes into the inside. Those soft tires are very, very fast compared to those 28 lap old hards. Glanza is no match for Piggy. And Piggy does secure P4. Runza getting... There you go. Runza getting very close to that Aston Martin. They almost make contact. Jumping that battery. They do make a slight contact. Nothing severe. As Leslie sets another fast lap. Trix and Debs going side by side. Once again, Trix going round the inside. Debs on the curb. Almost losing the car. And Debs almost running back into Trix. This is very good for Lesu. They will keep fighting. They will keep losing time. And Lesu will keep running away with the lead. Runza stuck in a three-way battle here. Defending against Mark. And trying to overtake Glanza. Trying to overtake Blaze. DRS wide open, dumping whatever is left of that battery. Will be going side by side, round the outside. They make slight contact. Grunzer goes down the inside and takes away that P6 position from Blaze. Amazing racing. But will Blaze have enough straight line speed to take away that position from Runza once again down the main straight with DRS? Runza dumping every inch of that battery. But Blaze does not catch up. Runza holding on to that P6 position. Mark trying to overtake Blaze as well. Will he be able to pull it off in those hard tires? Mystic up to P10. Trying to overtake SpaceX here. Very close indeed. SpaceX does have a time penalty here, so even if Mystic doesn't get past him, and SpaceX goes very wide, and a lot of drivers capitalize on that and gain positions. Mystic up to P9. Right behind Term now. Looking to score as many points as he can. Almost touching Term. Rafor is fighting SpaceX. Going round the inside of the last corner. Gets overtaken. And SpaceX comes back. Rafor is down the inside. And should have secured the move now. And will take P12. Mystic right behind Mark now. Mark right behind Blaze. There's a lap and a half left of this. A lap and a half left of this Grand Prix. Leslie, from the looks of it, unless he makes a mistake, he should be able to win the Dutch Grand Prix. But Debs and PRIX are still fighting for P2. Mystic and Tem getting very close. Ronskins has joined the battle as well as Andrew, as well as Raforis. A lot of people. Glanza has been disqualified for failing to use a different set of tire compound. What? Glanza never pitted for another set of tires. What a mistake from Glanza. Disqualified from the session for not pitting for a new set of tires. And Andrew, from the looks of it, never mind, that is just the car of Glanza getting away from the people. As Leslie crosses the line to take first, Trek second, and Debs gets third. Piggy coming home fourth. Runza, if he doesn't get overtaken, this is a 4 cars, 5 cars. What a move by Raforis! What a move! Overtaken at least 5 cars, I think. What has... So many people have just gotten penalties at the last second. Mystic down to P13. Raforis up to P5 after that amazing move around the corner, overtaking 5 cars. What a race. What a race. Absolutely exciting. No idea what happened in that last corner. Piggy is the driver of the day. Someone might have overtaken in yellow flags and had to slow down to let the driver through. And everyone else might have just followed him and slowed down as well to see what was happening. And Raforis just kept going. What a race. Amazing. Now, we will have to end the stream here and see you all next week for the Theory race on Tuesday at 9 PM.